Awnings, used as protection against both sun and rain, can be found over almost every balcony and garden throughout Europe. During the summer, awnings can also be found above shop windows and quaint cafes, providing not only protection from the elements, but adding unique and cozy resting spots for weary shoppers. Jentschmann, strategically located near Zurich, designs and manufactures a complete range of machines and production lines for the awning and roller blind manufacturer. These modern, high-precision tooling machines display the label Swiss Made, signifying the Swiss high standards for innovation, reliability, performance, and unsurpassed quality. The Jentschmann concept of manufacturing awnings depends upon precise cutting of fabric parts, preventing the need for further trimming after assembly. During the next few minutes, we will demonstrate how efficiently a high-quality awning can be manufactured. Data collection of an order includes all the specifications necessary for the cutting out and the sewing of an awning. Local area networks allow the order data to be dispersed online to various production units in the plant for cutting out. Data may also be transferred utilizing a disk. This one-time data collection process saves time and prevents errors. The manufacturing process of an awning starts with the cutting out off the reel. An awning normally consists of several fabric lengths, full width and two left and right side strips that are cut longitudinally. This process is performed by Jentschmann's PAC S2000 computer-controlled cutting system. Input of the overall dimensions of the awning are sufficient for cutting fabric lengths. Data entry may be done manually or via local area network using a keyboard or barcode scanner. Next, the fabric reel is put into the unwinding device. The edge of the fabric is aligned with the left edge at zero position using the edge control and placed under the pressure roller. If the cross-cut at the beginning of the fabric is not completely straight and rectangular, an initial cut will be made. Therefore, a small strip at the beginning is cut off. The machine automatically measures the fabric width to calculate the necessary fabric length and side strips. The PAC S2000's automatic calculations allows for two versions of the cutting out process for as far as the awning width will allow. For example, there may be one version with two narrow side strips and one full width, or a version with two wide-sided strips less one full length. The operator may select either version by using the mouse. After the cutting out version has been selected, the cutting units for longitudinal cutting are immediately positioned. The measuring carriage pulls the fabric while simultaneously cutting horizontally for the first side strip. After the calculated length has been reached, the cross cutter cuts off the first length automatically. The waste fabric is taken away and the side strip is pushed into the wind-up device. An optical sensor stops the winder at the end of the fabric. By activating a push button, all the fabric lengths get cut until the calculated number has been reached. Subsequently, the second side strip gets cut and wound. Then, each of the wound fabric lengths are taken off the wind-up device by pressing a key. The final step is placing the fabric on the transport belt for assembly on the sewing system. The semi-automatic sewing plant Jentschmann 4096 is used for assembling the fabric lengths and sewing the side hems. The high-performance FAF sewing head travels along the seam while sewing. Movable clamps hold the fabric lengths tight during the sewing process. The fabric lengths, rolled into one another in the order of processing, are placed on the machine table. The guiding device for the right hem is positioned. The edge of the side strip is inserted into the guiding device, clamped, and then sewing process begins. The fabric edge, enforced by the hem, is now fixed in the roller clamp of the wind-up device. By pressing a push button, the fabric is automatically tightened and wound up. An optical sensor stops the winder at the end of the fabric, and the next length will be added. The guiding device for hemming is replaced and fitted for assembly. The edges of both fabric lengths are inserted and tightened with the pneumatic clamps. On the opposite side, the movable clamp is positioned and the fabric lengths are clamped and tightened. At the touch of a button, sewing begins. The sewn length is wound up and the next panel is sewn on. After all the fabric lengths of full width have been sewn together, the guiding device is changed to add the second side strip. The sewn awning cloth is taken off the rolling up device and is ready for the next process. The Yenchman 2096 combined sewing and cutting system with air table is used for cutting off the valance strip and sewing the upper and lower piping seam of an awning. The assembled awning is spread and positioned on the air table to cut off the valance strip. With the two clamps, the fabric is held on both sides of the cutting line. The movable clamp on the opposite side is also positioned and the fabric is then aligned and clamped. Automatic cutting is started at the touch of a button. The cut-off valance strip is rolled up and ready to be cut with the traditional curves. The edge of the fabric is then inserted into the guiding device with the integrated piping feed and held with the clamp. Then the sewing process for the lower piping seam is started. The piping seam is fed automatically during the sewing process. At the end of the seam, the cord is cut off and the sewing machine automatically returns to the start position. The awning hovering on the air table is easily turned by the operator for sewing the upper piping seam. The finished awning is rolled up or folded. The computer-controlled cutting machine, Yenchman 2196 Volant, is used for cutting the curved patterns along the awning valances. A diverse selection of patterns may be chosen at the discretion of the user. Based on the order data retrieved through a local network, the curve pattern, and the repeat of the design, the computer can calculate the cutting curve. Differences in the repeat over joining seams are allowed for, which means the curve pattern and the design repeat correspond exactly with the complete length of the valance. After completing data entry, the valance strip is inserted and transported automatically to the start position. At the touch of a button, automatic cutting is started. Pulling the valance along the x-axis while the nibbler moves along the y-axis cuts the curves. To finish the cut valance, tape binding and a piping seam are applied. Valances are bordered with a cross tape with the special zigzag sewing machine, the Yenchman 937 Easy Feed. The electrically driven tape feed, special guiding device, and modified presser foot allow for easy and efficient sewing. The valance and cross tape remain completely flat, even on very tight curves. To keep the lower bar of Venetian blinds in a perfect horizontal position, the pull-up straps have to be exactly the same length. The pneumatically driven Yenchman 3004 cutting machine is ideal for this process. It ensures the most efficient and accurate cut and fold of the pull-up straps, resulting in exact lengths. The precision cut and pre-folded pull-up strap now has to be sewn on both ends. This function is done with the Bar Tacker 3339, equipped with a special foot and control for fast and easy handling. To better sew large heavy fabrics and weld tarpaulins on the same table efficiently, the Yenchman 3055 Twin was designed. Either a heavy-duty sewing head or a hot wedge welding head move along the table on the same linear rails. The synchronized sewing or welding with forward speed guarantee perfect straight seams. While sewing or welding, the operator travels alongside the machine on a small platform.